back. I had to do something. Like, I had to clean my keys. Oh, we got the fortune teller. I'll probably be helping the butterflies do this when she plays. Oh, that's right.
Well done, Initiate. That was some impressive detective work. Let's have a look at this. Aha! My hunch was right. According to the label, they made an extremely potent herbicide. Judging from this container, it looks like it's meant to be dispersed into a larger system. No sprinklers in here, so... Dear Lord. The facility's water line? That would explain the bodies out there, but... why? They must have known this would happen.
They must have.
No time to dwell on that. Initiate, let's look for a station where we can access the water line. This is what we need to weaken the vines.
Yeah. Access point to the system. Oh shit, look at this one. Yeah, good. Pobrecito. Safety brake. Safety brake. My cat wants to go outside. It's like 90 degrees and he wants to go outside. Certified. Woo!
still thinking about other ways we might get this door open. Definitely not replaying old episodes of Katie Inkwell in my head. Any luck finding a way to...
So.
Here we go. This
Oh,
looks like it connects to the main water line. Let's talk next steps. I should be able to disperse the herbicide into the water line from here. I'm suspecting that the security system here won't appreciate that. Expect alarms. And the company that alarms tend to attract. Ready for a fight?
always.
Okay. Fingers crossed and guns at the ready. Let's take a look here. Okay. The chemicals started dispersing into the water systems. It's detected a foreign substance. Prepare for it to get noisy in here. Initiate, I'll need you to keep them off my back. Ad Victoriam.
Stop it with the Victoria shit. Oh, I thought of that. Gotta take a different position. That didn't work out well at all. No. If I can only remember. No, that was my Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Over here. And, oh, yeah.
It's blocking me from releasing a sample outside this room. I need more time. Keep it up.
That's me. Fuck. Don't push me, push me.
Half the facility.
Glitching in the wall.
I'll need to reach the
glitching
drainage
in the-
system if we're going to affect the vines.
shit. It's not easy being blooded. I was supposed to do that last time. Where the fuck do I go? Oh. Bear with me. The bare necessities.
The last gate valve now. Give him hell, initiate. Chemical is pumping throughout the entire water system now, including assessment.
Took you
That
long
was for
enough.
disposing of unwanted chemicals. Well, one sleazy company's environmental negligence is our gain, I suppose. Those vines should be weak enough to break through now. I, wouldn't drink the water if I were you, though.
Oh. How funny. Destroy the what? Oh, destroy the robots. What was that again? Shit, I don't remember. Fuck. I have no idea what that shit. Shit. Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a feral ghoul to me.
Oh, great.
We should watch.
Let's see what happens. You know what? Just in case.
Hostile robotic entity? That's troubling. Be on the lookout.
It might be a fucking stupid assaultron.
up as a
Yep.
sheep. Whatever it was, it's dead. We should be able to lift the lockdown. Let's get back to that terminal.
Alright, let's do it. God, I can't
And that's that. Time to head back to Ares. If he has anything to do with all this.
Can you lead the way? Because it's like a fucking maze.
Your boss looks like she's about to strangle me with one of those vines. Something happening there?
Between the feral ghouls, the strangler vines, and that insane sheep robot, I've about reached my limit with this place. And your antics. I don't know if this is a big trap or elaborate cover-up, but we need to get through that door and get answers. Now!
Yeah.
Whoa,
Slap it.
Trap? Where's this coming from? Hold up. Did you say sheep robot? Like the Bobot kind or the killer robot kind?
Ares, the door! Now! Please!
Okay, just give me a second. Yeesh.
Nearly there now. We're getting closer to the truth. I can feel it. Do you think I'd agree with that? I follow my instincts, and many of them point suspicion towards Blue Ridge and Ares, but we do not just deal with a guilty party on the spot.
Oh,
This
my
isn't about punishment, it's about finding and helping the people at risk.
He's an
If,
idiot.
after all of
We should
this,
just deal
Blue
with
Ridge
it.
is responsible for what happened, we will have our justice.
Okay, okay,
First,
okay.
we need to know what happened down here.
Okay, you go first then.
Login credentials, check. New terms of employment, yeah. Benefits enrollments expired, sure. And done. Trust me now, I'll even lead the way, so if you change your mind, it'll be easier to shoot me in the...
Shut up.
Thank you for opening the door. But know that if we find anything linking you to this, you're still going to have to answer for it.
Add to the catalog of questionable things I already have to answer for.
Like, you telling him that, why wouldn't he just backstab you or shoot you in your back? Like, wow. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. That guy's powerful. It happens all the time. Maybe I should turn it down a notch. Maybe I should just turn it down a notch. First things first. Max on him, baby. start of a new journey. Foundation layout. The red carpet for Casey because I'm about to turn Appalachia. Appalachia's architectural on its head. I decided to keep this little journal to chronicle all the amazing things I see along the way. Wish me luck. Day 5. Miserable. Walking. That's all we do. Walk. Burn down building. Check force. Thank God that's done. That's one. Just stand there, huh? You don't even try to kill her. Interesting. Goddamn rat storms of all the trips. It's gotta be my turn when the mother of all green glowing death clouds parks itself over the mine. We're gonna need to camp out until it passes. I'm already exhausted from babysitting this massive group from the past 2 weeks. Sure Joe's gonna be thrilled by all the transport fees, but she's not the one that's got to deal with the delinquents, uppity merchants, and the weirdo doctor that keeps joining us. What's up, Mr. Merkers? What's up, papas? Meow, 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 meow. Oh, okay.
Seems like you've been pretty thorough. Are you ready to discuss what you've found?
Sure, shit face.
Excellent. I'll take what you've collected. Let me take a look at what you've found. I just need a minute to review it all.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
Pull out your decoder rings, kids. It's detective
I
time.
can't wait to shoot this motherfucker.
Let's see. That's concerning. This name. I know this name. I think I've seen enough.
Yes,
Initiate.
yes.
We should discuss our findings.
Okay, let's discuss. Oh, you're
Well, it seems like Cassie was indeed a part of this caravan group, but I think it'd be a good idea to step through the evidence together. I may have been assuming too much about Blue Ridge's involvement. I'd like to be on the same page. So where would you like to start?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yes. It would seem this was a routine trip until the end. Something kept them here and forced them to set up camp so close to home. Where is your head, Initiate? That's not even close to what this evidence suggests.
I knew those pepperoni rolls had a funky taste.
Let's get real. They were bunked down here due to a rad storm. A large group of civilians and merchants accompanied by just a single guard. Sitting ducks. Indeed. It looks like we have a clear account of their last moments here. That was my take as well. Based on Cassie's description and the letter you found earlier, we can assume they were these Hellcat mercenaries. The total number of people they've abducted, though, is staggering. Nearly 15 in this trip alone.
Wow.
Right, the manifest. One name in particular really stood out to me. Did you notice it? What? No, Shin isn't even listed here. What are you...
Oh,
Listen,
I'm sorry.
I'm referring to this name that's on here several times.
I'm
Dr.
sorry.
Blackburn. Not only was he present on multiple trips, but Cassie makes mention of him speaking with the armed strangers. Likely these Hellcat mercenaries you've dealt with.
Okay.
I imagine Dr. Blackburn was the one employing them. I knew the name sounded familiar. I had read it in Shin's report of your very first assignment with us. Think back, Initiate. Do you recall why Dr. Blackburn had been seeking our assistance?
No.
No, that was Mr. Hockman. Dr. Blackburn was the one who had been performing experiments to help the people of the wasteland.
Oh,
I
that
thought
guy.
it sounded too good to be true. But even still, could he be kidnapping people? To what end? Indeed we do. Dr. Blackburn was hiring these Hellcat mercenaries to kidnap people from this route. It would appear they were cautious at first, but took advantage of a radstorm to steal away an entire group. An unfortunate end, but there's still hope of finding them. The only thing left is to report back our findings and determine Blackburn's location. You may not have the sharpest eye for detective work, but you managed to lead us exactly where we needed to be. When this is over, we may want to promote you to the rank of Bloodhound for your intuitive tracking skills,
Don't call me a
Initiate.
dog?
I do believe we make a pretty great team.
Really? You gonna put me on a leash?
I know you do, Initiate. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm a bit ashamed of how quick I was to jump to conclusions on this matter. It's something I know I need to change. But even still, I'm thankful that you continue to place your trust in me. Anyway, we should get back to Atlas and report what we found. If we can determine where Blackburn took this group, we may be able to track down Cassie, and perhaps countless others. I'll meet you there. Good work, Initiate. Ares,
Alright.
I owe you an apology. My rash behavior was unfitting of my position, and frankly, unfair to you.
Water under the bridge. All of my best friendships start with misplaced suspicion of mass kidnapping.
I will take your word for it. I am sorry either way.
You really want to make it up to me? I've heard you guys have some killer rocket launchers to spare.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I got the mercenary outfit. Nice. What do you want me to do? Oh. Hi, Star. What's going on? What?
agree this isn't something...
Between what we learned at AMS and the journal we recovered from Harper's Ferry, this is big.
If this is the source of the super mutant threat, I'm prepared to support any action to end it.
Initiate. Good timing.
I can't believe he just walked in here.
What?
He must have been at work even then.
Is it still there? The Temple of Kali?
I'm not sure. Probably.
The arrogance he must have had to come here, knowing what he was doing. Unbelievable.
The question facing us now is how to find him and the people who've been taken. Lucky for us, Scribe Valdez has made a discovery of her own while we were away.
That's right. Remember the Pip-Boy you found in the Uncanny Caverns?
Yes.
It took a while to crack the encryption, but I've unlocked it. It came from Vault 96.
Yay, Star! Good kitty. Yeah, where's that?
It took a bit of research to locate
Good
it, but it's well
start.
south of here. I'll mark it on your map. I wasn't able to find anything, unfortunately. I know every vault had a purpose, though. Like Vault 76 was meant to house the best and the brightest to rebuild America. Ostensibly. Vault 96 could be anything. Well, we're not sure it is.
What we do know is that we have a definitive lead to follow. The super mutant threat takes priority. If we find the missing civilians in the process, so much the better. But we cannot ignore this lead, either way.
Unsurprisingly, Night Shin and I don't see eye to eye on this. Fortunately, in this case, we don't have to. I think they're connected. A vault would be a great place to hide abductees. The Pip-Boy might even have come from someone that escaped. Investigating the vault
Yes,
is our
Star.
best lead for either mystery, and maybe an
Good
answer
kitty.
to both.
Then we're agreed. The vault will be your next target. Scribe Valdez will accompany you. A vault is a potential trove of exactly the kind of technology the Brotherhood is meant to catalog and secure.
I've marked Vault 96 on your map. We don't know what we're walking into, or even how we'll get in, to be honest. We'll
Good
need to be
start.
cautious.
Good start.
Step 1 is finding a way in. You'll
Good
take
start.
point. Based on other vaults we found crossing the country,
Good
the vault
trick,
should have an
Kitty.
emergency transponder. Once you've secured the entrance, the controls for the transponder are usually there near the
Yes,
main door.
Star.
Activate it to give the all clear and I'll follow you in.
I'm glad to hear it. It's a good plan, and I think we're all in agreement on this one. Find any evidence you can about the missing people and any connection to the super mutants. If Blackburn is there, I want him taken alive. If he really is behind the abductions, he needs to answer for his crimes. You have your orders, Initiate. Good luck. Dismissed.
Hello, Initiate.
Go to 196.
World Science solved a lot of problems.
196.
What else do you want?
I joined the Brotherhood for structure, but things are already falling apart. Maybe it was wrong to
I
enlist.
thought I had seen what the Wasteland House to offer. But super mutants? This is a whole new kind of reverse.
There's a lot of volts. Is this it? Oh. Never been there.
Running my own operation. All this
Little late to the party, aren't you?
Sorry.
If you're looking to loot the place, some Blood Eagles are ahead of you in line. I'd stop you, but I think I quit. Name's Woods. Corporal Woods, Hellcat Company. Mercenaries. We got hired by this creep of a doctor to guard the place. Among other things. Promised us salvage rights here when he was done. And I don't think we're gonna collect on that. Hell of a bedside manner you got. You know I'm dying, right? Go ahead. Not like I'm doing anything else. Clock's ticking though. It's our own fault. We got lazy. This place is so far out of the way, nobody ever passes by. Kind of the point. We figured we'd be shooing off the occasional stray scavenger that came poking around. This lot sent grenades through the entrance before we knew they were there. Rushed us while we were recovering.
Papa, go check.
I took a bullet in
Go
the
check,
gut.
Papa.
Bastards left me to die slowly because they thought it was funny. Yeah, Blackburn. Real unnerving guy, even before we found out what he was doing.
Huh?
Kidnapping was just the start.
No,
of
no,
it.
I'm good enough. Thank you.
Should have cut ties then, contract or no. Even Merc should have lines.
Mercury
they don't
does.
cross. I'd say I didn't have a choice, but
He does. He's like,
we're
no.
mercenaries. And we do it for the money, not some noble ideal.
He smells it. You smell it, huh,
Nobody to
Papa?
blame but ourselves.
Smells good. Yeah.
Jesus, interrogating a dying woman. That's stone cold. Ah, don't look like that. I'm just fucking with you. This is important. Maybe you can fix our mistakes. It's where he had us bringing him. Other squads did. I mean, I
Oh,
was just off
shit.
duty. Not that it makes me any less
Wow.
guilty. Whether or not any of them are left alive, no clue.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Wouldn't count on it with the Blood Eagles ransacking the place. Can't figure the dock will last long either. That doesn't bother me though. That's kind, but it's a little late for that.
I know.
I've seen enough gut shots in my time to know a stim pack and bandages aren't gonna fix this. This one's got my name on it. God knows I've done enough to deserve it.
Oh. Yes. She died.
Wow, it's freezing in here. Look at all this ice. The environmental controls must be damaged. What happened here? Those are Hellcat Company uniforms, right? It looks like a massacre. Blood Eagles? What are they doing here? Looks like Paladin Romani was right. There's a link between the abductions, Blackburn, and the super mutants. We still need to figure out what. Give me a moment to look at these terminals. Oh, that's not good. The vault's on internal lockdown. I guess someone's responding to the Blood Eagle attack. If there are automated defenses still working, they'll all be active. We may be facing more than just Blood Eagles. Be careful.
Great.
Let's get moving. I'll follow your lead.
Oh, why can't I follow yours? Can we take a vote? Pull straws?
Locked. Must be the security lockdown. Let me try something. Got it. I was able to use the Pip-Boy's protocols to get the doors open, but it fried the circuits. If we run into any more locked doors, we're gonna need another way through.
Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge.
Well, let's mouth the feed.
I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like I joke sometimes and make me wonder how I can be going under.
I gotta lay out the cameras. Still on?
I hate this place.
It seems I have an excess of visitors today. Ah, yes. The one I met at Fort Atlas. I did hope we would meet again under more convivial circumstances.
What is-
These are not they, unfortunately. I have no quarrel with the Brotherhood, but I must ask you to leave immediately. Please leave me be. I cannot be responsible for what may happen if you remain.
Oh, I'm gonna remain.
I guess we found Dr. Blackburn. Looks like most of this place is locked off. We need to search everywhere where our options are limited. The door labeled mainframe is stuck open though. Let's start there.
Hey, don't go so fast. Where you going? Oh my god, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Neither do I. I went the wrong way. Shit. Oh.
This vault was a biological research facility originally. Without the small long detail why. Perhaps it is fitting that I found this place. I have been honest about this after a fashion, but less than forthcoming about its nature.
And down. Go, 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 go.
Robotics control failure in the mainframe wing. Activating emergency fabrication protocol FS401.
Janek, circuits 10, 18, 57.
Got it.
fabrication system offline. Activating emergency repair protocol. CR889.
889, that's Hans. We need a reactor brownout. All right, give me a minute. 109's next. In it?
Ready on the detonator.
Molly, are you in?
Sorry, just a...
Brownout. In 3.
See, Papa? I thought you were gonna fall. You okay?
Power fluctuations detected in the engineering wing. Activating emergency stabilization protocol ES-109. Detonation in the cryogenics wing.
That should do it.
Activating superseding protocol Omega.
Eric?
That's not in the database. What?
Protocol confirmed. All exits have sealed to prevent a containment breach. Calculating optimal process to exterminate all personnel in the vault.
What?
Done. All remaining personnel may now be terminated.
Oh shit.
I'm locked out!
Here, I got it. Cover the door. Damn it. Almost.
Data upload from compromised system detected. Suspect data stream has been quarantined.
What? Bypass. Bypass. Yeah!
All residents have been terminated. Operation successful.
persistent refusal to depart is a distraction I do not need. Please, I am asking you again. Leave this place and do not return. There is nothing for you here but sorrow.
You guys see that? There's a jumping kid that just went past the screen. That was funny. Do it again, Mercury.
Research log, Dr. Edgar Blackburn. Number 38. The capture of human beings is difficult to imagine. The people of Appalachia are a bad what is done. I tell myself these acts are necessary. The work is too important, and I cannot complete it without living human subjects to experiment upon. It is either power or failure. In my quiet hours, I question what I have made of myself in pursuit of this goal. I began this enterprise fully cognizant of what it might take. Even without knowledge, I could not comprehend the weight of it. Have I become no different from them foolly lives of fond monsters who remain dead inside me? Am I still believing myself capable of success in all these piles? I push aside those doubts. Focus on the work before me. The people of Appalachia need this.
That you, Basher? Wow, you're an even worse liar than I am. Wait, that voice. I know who you are. Oh, you're the one I talked to back at Fort Atlas.
You know her?
We're in bad shape here. The doors slammed shut and cut us off from the rest of the gang. We've got robots attacking every few minutes. We need help.
Dangerous. Hostile has escaped. Transmitting description to designated law enforcement authorities.
I've been trying to get us out of here since we've been locked in. I just found this vault security key card. Should open all the doors in this place. You help us, and it's yours. Now we're talking. Give me a sec to get the door open.
Good thing Shin's not here. I don't think he'd
No
be-
shooting, boys. They're on our side.
Order will be lowered. Please.
Let's come in.
out of here. I'm going someplace warm.
I'm watching you.
Damn. Good thing you showed up when you did. Looks like I was right about you. Shame we keep meeting under these circumstances. We could get into some real trouble. Can't believe the Brotherhood bailed us out. Well, a deal's a deal. Key card's yours.
I ain't gonna die in this place.
All yours. You got this far, so I'm guessing the way you came is clear. Thanks again. Maybe we won't even shoot you if we see you again. No promises.
I ain't gonna die in this
God.
place.
Interesting friends, Initiate.
I agree. Don't look at me like that. What do you want me to do? Got us a key card, didn't we?
Research log, Dr. Edgar Blackburn, number 57. Begin to doubt my own sanity at times. My efforts, while not without progress, continue to fail to bear real fruit. The FEV seems almost deliberately malignant, as if it had a consciousness and rejects my every attempt to bend it toward a benevolent end. I've come to recognize the signs of imminent metastasis and conversion to the so-called supermutant state. I am ill-equipped to deal with the product of such failure, and have taken to disposing of these unfortunates outside the vault itself. I regret that my current methods of disposal may, in the short term, increase the supermutant population in Appalachia.
Stopped here so that captors
cannot be avoided.
turn them into version.
End log.
Like West Tech, they concern themselves only with whether they could do these things, not what benefit they might bring. At best, they made weapons. Such a pointless waste. I have turned what they left behind to better ends.
Oh my god. The smell.
I regret the ugliness you find here. The things I had to do. They were necessary, but that necessity made them no more pleasant or palatable. Seeing these things, I imagine you must intend to kill me. I do not blame you for this.
We're supposed to bring him in alive. Don't forget that. No matter what we've seen here.
Research log, Dr. Edgar Blackburn, number 5. The creators of the forced evolutionary virus were idiots savant. They saw weapons, soldiers to win a war that would end almost as soon as it began. They had discovered a means by which we could seize the reins of human evolution, and all they could envision was more efficient death. My colleagues at West Tech were likewise fools. They made the virus a plaything at Huntersville, their ant farm, shaking it to watch them scurry. The FEV was never meant to create abominations. At its core is something wondrous and hopeful. I will free it from what they made of it. Humanity will have the future it should have had, and a better human will build that world, free from fear. End Research log, Dr. Edgar Blackburn, number 112. My work's demand for human subjects has increased dramatically as I make ground toward my ultimate goal. To this end, I have contracted mercenaries. Trustworthy, if such a term Already they have begun acquiring new subjects at a far greater pace than I could, and a contingent remained to guard the vault itself. I must be careful.
You're not with those others, are you? Can you get us out of here? Cassie Alloway. Listen, I ain't trying to be rude. I'll tell you my whole dang life story if you want. Just get me out of here first.
Is he coming back?
Not exactly. I think the locks are controlled remotely. The doctor guy always does something back behind the stairs there before he comes back to grab one of us for his tests. Okay, I was gonna go for a walk, but I guess I'll stay here for now. Sorry. Seriously, though. Thank you.
Don't let me die in here.
Somebody get us out of here.
Everything hurts.
Molly Cooper, biology, log 280. What is this? The specimen record is blank. No vitals, no measurements, no source data, just an ID, X001. The cellular structure is unlike anything I've ever seen. I can't even identify the organelles. I ran it through the DNA sequencer twice, but nothing.
Please, help us.
Oh, thank God. You've got my thanks, stranger. Introductions are in order, I guess. My name's Cassie. Did I say that already? I'm not injured. Got lucky. The doc didn't do any surgery on me. That nut job was dosing me with diseases, though. Said he was testing incubation and immune response times. Weird thing is, he kept apologizing. Got a bad case of sludge lung now. But I'm holding up. Some of the others are in worse shape.
Everything hurts. I feel sick.
For real? You must be my guardian angel. Well, I did get kidnapped and locked up by mad scientists, so maybe not. But still, thank you. You get to miss him breathing normally. I can't take it anymore. I think we're the last surviving ones. There used to be more. When he takes you out of the cells, you don't always come back. Hasn't been down here in a few days, though. Figured he got what he wanted, or someone done him in. Good timing on your part. The crappy rations he gave us last time are nearly gone.
Help us.
Maybe I could, but There's no way the rest will. I don't even know where we are, but I'm guessing we're not close to civilization. These folks won't make it a mile in their condition.
It's better if they stay here. When we've cleared the vault, I'll radio Fort Atlas. They can send the medics with the recovery team and get them to safety.
Whatever Fort Atlas is, that sounds good to me. Thanks kindly.
I'll leave some food and water for you to share until help arrives.
You're a peach.
Is he coming back?
We ain't going anywhere. Hey, if you run into that crazy doctor, give him a kick for me, alright?
Oh God, please just don't hurt me.
The doctor.
Though it seems futile, I ask one final time. Leave this vault and the things you have seen. You cannot change what has happened here. Leave me to this cold and lonely place.
The card doesn't work? Blackbird must have overridden the door codes. Probably guess the looters might find a key card eventually if they had the run of the place. If he's changed the codes for the door, we're not getting through normally. I knew a lot of knights that would probably try to blow up the door, but I think we can do better than that. These doors are hydraulically sealed. If we can find the lines that feed to this door, we might be able to cut the pressure holding it shut. Look for a utility room nearby. This should be it. Take a look. See if you could find the lines to the overseer's office. Nice work. You might have a future as a scribe if you wanted. Let's head back. The door should be open now.
It appears neither the vault defenses nor the Blood Eagles were a match for you. Quite formidable. You can lower your weapons. It would clearly be futile for me to struggle, and I surrender willingly. And yet you will not, will you? The Brotherhood is an iron fist when enforcing its mission. But you did not come all this way simply to put a bullet in my skull. Besides, my death can no longer stop my work. Yes, I assumed as much when you entered. Very well. Consider me arrested, if you must. I am ready to face any judgment the Brotherhood wishes to mete out. My work here is complete regardless, and it is too late for you to stop it. Simply that I have achieved my goal. The FEV is perfected, and it is too late for you to change that. My sacrifices, the terrible things I have done to accomplish this, it has been paid in full, and now salvation awaits humanity.
What? You can't do anything with it now. We've caught you. You're finished.
Have I given you any reason to believe I have not already taken the necessary action?
Okay, that's not good.
I have completed it. I turned a flawed miscreation into something that will heal an ill and wounded humanity. But if by that you mean, what have I done with the result? It is no longer here. I have associates. They are even now finalizing the mechanisms of its distribution. You are too late.
Paladin Romani needs to hear about this immediately.
Let me go. Had I committed any offense of which you could possibly have been aware? Do you think I'd take any pleasure or pride in that fact? Think what you will, but I am not inhuman. Had I been capable of accomplishing my goal without them, I would have done so. I am neither a sadist nor a homicidal maniac. I do not expect forgiveness. But I am certain what I have done will bear sufficient consequence without fabricating new sins to hang upon me. I am at your disposal, then.
You can head out. I'll radio for a team to secure the site and get the prisoners to safety. Then bring Blackburn back to the fort. I'm sure the others are going to have a lot of questions for him. Good work, Initiate. I'm glad you were here.
I have said enough at present. I am sure your officers will have plenty to ask of me when I am in custody at your headquarters.
Welcome to Fort Atlas.
Excuse me.
We're receiving reports of people going missing all over Africa.
I have been fully compliant with your questioning. Threats are not required.
With everything you've done, you're lucky I'm only threatening you right now.
Please, this argument is getting us nowhere.
Do you need something?
Initiate, you've come at the right time. We've been talking to Dr. Blackburn and going over Scribe Valdez's report on what you found in Vault 96.
This smug monster is practically bragging about torture and unleashing horrors on the world. And Romani is treating him with kid gloves.
I am not bragging. What I have done was necessary. I take no pride in those terrible acts. I will have to live with the shame of them forever. That weight does not, however, diminish that the ends were worth the means. You will learn that soon enough. My colleagues will see that our creation, a vast improvement on the FEV, is distributed shortly.
Do you see the arrogance, the self-justification? We should end him and be done with it. None that make any sense.
We need him. This isn't over. Preventing Dr. Blackburn's associates from taking this horror any further must be our priority. And we may need the doctor to convince them.
My colleagues have a laboratory hidden beneath the headquarters of my former employer, West Tech. We intend to correct the FEV's mistakes at their birthplace. Poetically appropriate, would you not agree? My colleagues have a facility better suited to final testing and mass production of the virus. As we speak, they are preparing for its release into the air and water of Appalachia. Once dispersed, it will enter the precipitation cycle in groundwater, and then it cannot be stopped.
No. It could spread for hundreds, maybe thousands of miles.
That is your goal, not mine. But I am not a soldier, and would not withstand strenuous interrogation well. No minor delay on my part will change what is to come. My colleagues are already preparing. Perhaps my cooperation will allow us to make a case for the good we are about to do, and convince you of our cause.
Impossible. We could never support something so abominable.
Yes. If the doctor's associates are preparing to distribute the virus, we have to put our emotions aside here and get to them before they can. Blackburn's punishment, whatever its form, can wait until Appalachia is safe. Head to West Tech. Find and secure the entrance to this lab, and we'll follow behind.
I don't like this, Romani. We should be done with him here and now and level this laboratory. This is just like what Elder Maxim faced at Mariposa. Or have you forgotten?
Elder Maxon came to regret acting rashly there. Or have you forgotten?
If they've already begun producing the virus, blowing up the place could just help spread it. We'll need to be a bit more delicate than that.
Very well. If Blackburn is coming with us, I will be watching him. Perhaps he can provide leverage against his fellow lunatics.
If I can prevent further loss of life, I will.
Then it's decided. Initiate. Head for West Tech. We've no time to lose. See you there.
All right. West Tech it is.
What's that? Go ahead and hide. Human, you die well. Fight at last! Strongest super
He's the strongest super mutant.
Appalachia will know the name Hellcats. Stay where we can see you.
I've not run away thus far, have I?
Enough, Shin. Let's catch up with our vanguard.
Sounds about like that. What? What are you looking at me for?
Are we secure, Initiate?
Should we expect any further resistance?
I am not aware of the details of the defensive measures my colleagues may have taken. I would not, however, expect them to tolerate trespassers.
We should keep moving.
As you wish. I am your prisoner, after all. I have little choice in the matter.
What a dick.
Dr. Farhar is nominally the head of their group, Headstrong, an old university colleague. Dr. Jane was a junior scientist at West Tech, brilliant but easily led. He shared my disgust at the Huntersville mistake. Nellie Wright, on the other hand, is Dr. Farhar's pet project, an adoptee of sorts. Very talented, despite her lack of formal schooling.
Yeah.
A trap I conceived, prepared, and executed entirely while in your custody? You give me too much credit.
Perhaps. Doesn't mean it's not possible. gotta like that. You gotta love that right there. You got the Pip-Boy on the watch, dude. I got a real Pip-Boy. It's green, but the green screen is blocking the green, of course.
Paranoia ill suits you. I have complied with your every demand.
And that is precisely what is so concerning.
Certainly.
Let's move out. Eyes open.
Alright, let's move out. Cinco de Mayo. Past 2 months.
Edgar. Edgar, who are these people? What happened to the guards?
The guards are dead, Dr. Farha. This is the Brotherhood of Steel. I have been their guest since they discovered our project. Regrettably, they object to what we are doing.
We will not be intimidated. This facility is secure. You can't get to us. We will finish our work.
No, you won't.
We can't let that happen. Come no further. You certainly do seem determined.
I can see you're troubled. You know what you're doing isn't right. Let's talk through this. We can come to an agreement.
I want to avoid violence. But that's always on the table, as long as you hold Dr. Blackburn hostage. Let him go. Please, let him go or we will cut off this negotiation and proceed with our plans.
I am afraid you will have to give in on this one. If you truly want to stop our distribution process, I advise you to listen to the doctor's entreaties. It is no joke at all. Allow me to explain. My colleagues could not stop production if they tried. It requires a code. I am the only one who knows the code. I set this plan in motion, and I am the only one who can stop it.
Is this true?
Edgar.
You will have to forgive Dr. Farha. She did not know. I added this functionality to our distribution program. As insurance, you might say.
Boy, that's handy, huh?
So there you have it. I am willing to help you in exchange for sparing my colleagues' lives. But you will have to let me in there with them. Then you are free to enjoy the view as my colleagues distribute our creation among the populace.
I don't like it either. But what other option do we have? If we do nothing, the outcome will be just as catastrophic.
Dr. Farha, please permit me inside as a sign of good faith from the Brotherhood. I am certain we can negotiate a peaceful resolution and perhaps preserve our work at the same time.
All right. I'm registering you for the security grid. Just you.
With your leave.
Don't make this worse.
This is a mistake.
This is stupid.
Now that that is over with, Nellie, prep the test chamber. They want proof of our success. I will give it to them myself.
Edgar, wait!
I apologize for the deceit, but I cannot risk you undoing all we have accomplished. Soon you will understand that I was right.
Edgar, please, Let's talk about this.
You've signed your death warrant, Blackburn.
I will test the sample on myself and be proof of our achievement. Anything you do to me after does not matter. I'm going in. Ready the tag.
We should have executed him when we had the chance.
Yeah.
Now is not the time. We've got to find a way in quickly. There's no time to waste.
FEV flow ready, Doctor.
Initiate procedure. Code section.
Initiating.
Please. All of you, this isn't right.
What's this? No. What's happening? This can't be. The figures were correct.
Kill you! No! I'm so close.
Justice.
The scientists are still locked upstairs. Let's hear what they have to say for themselves.
Edgar, I should have known. I did know. We weren't ready. I owe you an apology. Our work was a failure. Any good it might have done was a mirage. I knew it in my heart, but didn't listen. As a token of goodwill, I have used Edgar's code to stop production. We will not distribute the virus. I will make sure of that. But I will not simply let you in. There may be little I can do to stop you, but I will defend my colleagues in what little way I can. I must admit that I am powerless before you. If our cooperation can sway you to avoid more violence, then I will let you through. The way is open. We await your judgment.
You really think they've stopped production? This whole sob story sounds like a trap.
We can verify that once the area is secure and describe our death to double check. Until then...
You've arrived. Please, hear me out.
No.
We are scientists.
I don't care.
Our work is all we have to give to this broken world.
No.
We truly hope to give humanity a better way to fight back. Against the radiation, the mutants, the decay of civilization. We failed. But this doesn't have to be the end. There is so much good that we can still do. Please, spare us your wrath.
Why does it sound like you're giving up? We weren't that far off. Just a tweak here or there.
If I may interrupt, I agree with everything Dr. Farha has to say. Despite how it looks, we are not evil people. We wish only to better humankind. Knowing that, what are your intentions with us?
Well put. The Brotherhood exists to keep humanity safe. And your work endangered everyone in Appalachia. If that failed virus had gotten out, countless people could have died. We can't allow you to continue experimenting.
Wait, Shin. It's clear that we can't just let them go. But their knowledge could be valuable to the Brotherhood and the people of Appalachia. Blackburn was the ringleader, but he's gone. We know nothing about the others, and of all people, you and I shouldn't fault anyone for trying to make a difference.
I can. And I will.
Is this still about back then? You can't forgive yourself for your own mistakes, so you refuse to forgive others too. When will you put that behind you?
This has nothing to do with that. There will be no more experiments. They're too dangerous to keep prisoner.
Wait, you're really going to kill us?
Hold on. We're not killing anybody. We will bring them back to Fort Atlas and have Scribe Valdez monitor their work.
Have you lost your mind?
Yep.
Think about it. This is exactly why the Brotherhood exists, to safeguard technology. I hate to admit it, but the Elders are right on this. We can't let them go, but we can't destroy what knowledge they have either.
A wise compromise. I'm willing to cooperate. You, the angry one. Consider the fact that universities are no longer operating. In a generation or two, there will be few, if any, people left in the world with a formal education.
How many dozens have you killed? Do you really think your life is worth more than theirs because of your education? We don't need your knowledge if you're deranged enough to resort to human experimentation.
Yes.
Stop. Let us stop for a moment and talk to each other. There's still much that we haven't told you about our work. And we know little about your brotherhood. Perhaps we can find out more where our perspectives overlap.
Yes. Maybe some discussion will cool Shin's head. I have no desire for this to come to blows.
Very well. You haven't said anything yet. Surely you have an opinion on this matter.
I don't seek to pardon them. They'll be under constant supervision. You could even call it rehabilitation.
That's not going to work. Think of the resources it will take to watch them around the clock. We're spread too thin to watch them constantly. What happens if they slip out and create another virus? Or sneak in some horrible experiments under our watch? It's too risky.
Supervision isn't necessary. We're scholars, not fighters. We couldn't escape if we wanted to. In any case, there's still much to discuss. Let's pause and open the floor for conversation, shall we?
Make it quick, Initiative. Shouldn't take long to see through their lies.
We need to come to an agreement. I won't stand for impulsive violence. I hope you can see what we need to do here. What we need to do for the Brotherhood.
Those who commit crimes against humanity must be punished. It wouldn't be right to let them run free. Not to the people they killed, and not to the people they could kill in the future. The Brotherhood of Steel must protect the future of Appalachia, and of the world. I don't see what other option there is. As I stated before, they're too dangerous to hold prisoner, so we either ignore the danger or eradicate it. That is none of your concern.
How long do you intend to sweep it under the rug like nothing happened? You're torturing yourself, Shin, and they deserve to know.
Maybe so. But this is neither the time nor the place for this discussion.
Shin, you owe it to yourself to admit that you made a mistake. Stop crumbling under the guilt and just accept it.
For those I failed then, and those I failed since, for them, I have to do better. The raiders on the expedition route, Romani decided we would stay and fight them. But giving the order to distribute the weapons to the settlers there, it was my idea. I wanted to give them a chance. But I got them killed instead. The rocket launchers. The one we had secured those weapons from a military facility with the intent of keeping them safe. Brotherhood hands only, but there was a town being attacked by raiders. I thought that equipping the townspeople would give them a better chance. It didn't work. The town was taken over, and the weapons fell into raider hands. It's my fault that happened. I vowed to never make a mistake like that again. Despite that vow, Initiate Nolan still died on my watch. I can't let the past keep repeating itself. I can't give those scientists another chance to harm innocent people. Then I hope you'll also take away the same lesson that I did. Those who commit crimes against humanity must be punished. It wouldn't be right to let them run free. Not to the people they killed, and not to the people they could kill in the future. The Brotherhood of Steel must protect the future of Appalachia and of the world. This is bigger than all of us. I hope you understand that.
I just said I did.
I heard when the Brotherhood breaks down your door, they say, "Add victory. Hand over your arms." Is that true? Oh, really? I was gonna ask you for a reenactment. What about them? Is that any worse than being human? As Dr. Jane says, all life is sacred. You'd probably gun them down regardless, right? To improve the human race. If I was kidnapped for our experiments, I wouldn't mind. Those kidnappers do much worse. Oh, are you a licensed medical professional? Even if you are, it's pretty rude to make sudden, unwarranted diagnoses of people you just met. Okay, I guess. You're not really gonna kill us, are you? I'm awfully young to die. You can fit a lot of experiments into 60
I'm gonna
years.
kill you twice.
What questions do you have for me? Or has your party made a decision? And what has your organization decided?
Is that truly how you feel? I trusted you.
Please, spare my associates. I take full responsibility for their actions.
There's no need. You're coming back to Fort Atlas with us.
No, I won't stand for your coercion any longer. Your righteous crusade has gone too far. You are no paladin of the Brotherhood. You haven't been since you destroyed that transmitter. Your reign is over. The initiative's with me. Step aside and let us do what's necessary.
I guess the Elder's grip is tighter than I can break after all. I tried to make you see reason. But after all this, you remain their lapdogs. The Brotherhood can't be changed after all. I will have to start anew elsewhere.
You're a traitor.
I'd hoped it would never come to this.
If only she'd seen reason. Initiate. Carry out the sentence.
Please! We are mere scientists!
They're murderers. Make sure they can never kill again.
No, stop me!
Done. return to Port Atlas. Then we can discuss everything that's happened.
How dare they? I can't wait to see what you're gonna do.
Brotherhood's always let me forget.
Unbelievable.
It pains me to say that Romani gave her life to defend these criminals. Her last act was not as a Brotherhood paladin, but as a person following her own misguided moral principles.
Fuck, I didn't retrieve that
Romani
money.
put her personal morals above the cornerstone of duty, time and time again. Her irresponsibility threatened to shake apart the foundation of order that allows us to be an effective force of action. But however misguided her decisions were, Romani always acted with the intent to help humanity. If we are to retain anything from her leadership, let it be that. The Brotherhood of Steel seeks to forge a lasting future. We must be humanity's strength. Strength to eliminate threats, overt and covert. Strength to keep dangerous technologies safe. Strength to make the decisions that no one else wants to make. We are humanity's rock, standing against the harsh enemies of war, disease, and time. We must not falter. Ad Victoria!
I didn't like this guy. They made you
There
pick
is
this guy.
one more thing to address before we disband. Initiates are the future of the Brotherhood. Induction into our order is an honor that should not be taken lightly. Among an initiate's most important responsibilities is to understand and commit themselves wholly to the principles of the order. I've come to understand that one initiate will never be able to meet this goal. They have other important responsibilities in Appalachia. I've decided to grant a title that can account for this caveat, while still acknowledging their exceptional contributions to the Brotherhood. Come, stand between Scribe Valdez and I.
Oh. Me?
For outstanding contributions to the Brotherhood mission as an outside party, I hereby confer on you the permanent title of Knight Errant. A unique Brotherhood title with special privileges is an acknowledgement of the highest honor.
Oh, wow.
May it serve as an inspiration for the rest of you. Dismissed.
Nice.
I trust the title change didn't come as too much of a surprise. It's unorthodox. But you're an exception I had to acknowledge to prevent confusion among the other initiates. While I appreciate your enthusiasm, I can't allow it. Full-fledged Brotherhood members are stationed at the fort and do not fraternize with other factions. This is as big of an exception as I can make. I hope you'll come to see it as the honor that it is. A lot of reorganization. As much as I'd like to start scouting for another transmitter today, things around here will fall apart if we don't fill the space Romani left first. I'm feeling like there's a lot of work to do. Right. You're probably asking about the emotional strain of Romani's. It is what it is. As a soldier, I have to stand up and move on. Don't feel like it has to be the last time. The doors of Fort Atlas are open to you.
Congratulations. Sorry, I'm still a little shocked about what happened to the Paladin.
So, Paladin Romani is gone. I can't believe it. I wanted to be optimistic about their conflict, right up until the end. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like maybe this was inevitable. If only there was more I could have done.
It was inevitable.
Well, that's going a bit far, isn't it? But it's a very nice thing to say. Thank you. I'm going to keep doing my job. With one officer down, there's going to be a lot of slack to pick up. There's still a lot more I'd like to see out there, but right now, I need to support the Brotherhood. I think it might start feeling a little more like back home, with the Elders. We're going to have a lot of work to do to make things safer in Appalachia. Without Paladin Romani to counter his priorities, Knight Shin will have a plan laid out in no time.
She did what's her name?
Don't mention it. As the resident scribe, it's my job to keep things functioning around here.
This song, one of her songs. She did pretty good. Is that the one here anymore? And it reminded me of that. I'm like, hey.
Until next time.
We owe this victory to you.
Did that really just happen? I knew things between the higher-ups were shaky, but to come to blows, real actual bullets? Paladin Romani, she was so passionate about our cause.
I down with her too.
I really believed her.
Oh my god.
It's going to be hard getting used to this.
This sucks. Oh, I should have picked. I don't know. Now I regret it. Fuck. Oh.
Congratulations on your promotion.
I can't tolerate human experimentation. Sorry. You can't do that. Sorry. You can't experiment on me. Or on anything.
Congratulations on your promotion, Knight Errant.
I can't believe that shit.
What happened?
The story that I just went through.
We owe this victory to you, Knight Errant.
They killed her?
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's a good story.
What do you mean? That's not something that the same thing that happened?
No. That's why I want to see what's gonna happen with you. Maybe the same thing that happened.
Yeah, I know we will. And it's only right for a military organization. Following protocol. Getting back in contact with the Elders.
You got everything.
But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about losing our spark. You know, Paladin Romani's commitment to helping people. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. See you around.
I just turned out to try to say gas, really.
It's been an honor to serve.
Makes sense.
Is this like blowing?
Knight Errant.
Oh my gosh.
It might be futile. I don't
What
know.
are we gonna do? Who's gonna handle everything? Who's gonna lead the recruits? What am I gonna do? Oh, gosh.
Some character models are better than others. Romani looked terrible. Maybe they want. Maybe I don't know. Her character model didn't look good. It didn't take much time on her.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm alright. I don't do
It's
well
on a
with really big
76,
changes. Like, for example, my boss dying. I think I need some time to process this. I'm gonna sit down.
Congratulations on your promotion, Knight Errant.
The
Still
cable's like a
socializing.
difference. I don't know if you know. I can see a lot big difference.
The clearance? The clarity?
Yeah.
Good work out
Color
there.
and everything.
The Brotherhood won't forget it. At Victoria.
It looks a lot smoother. Congratulations. Sorry, I'm still a little shocked about what happened to the Paladin.
gotta go see if I can go loot her. Because I fucking left and I didn't loot her. Where was that? Oh. It was
We
at
owe
West
this
Tech.
victory to you, Knight Errant.
It was at West Tech. I'm probably not gonna be able to get to that area. Hopefully.